Can you take a lead magnet webinar and turn it into short-term memberships, long-term memberships, and a content profit empire? Well, you know what? We're going to answer that question here in just a moment. Just to be real with everybody, as soon as I find the music. Here we go. Welcome everyone to episode 145 of the Content Profit Show. And thank you for being here, because you are a big part of why we have gotten that far to 145. Most podcast, livecast people don't get past episode 20. So thank you for being great guests, great supporters, great commenting in the chat, and all the great things you do. So a lot of cool things coming up. You've heard a little bit lately about the profit ladder, something new that we're doing, and it's probably one of the most powerful things we've done in a long time. You'll be hearing more about that. Now, I want you to meet right over here, Pete. And we were talking earlier about the different Orange counties. He's in Orange County, California, and I grew up in Orange County, Florida. A little bit different, you know. And Pete, what do you call yourself? A what coach? I know it's not resume.
No, I'm a career strategist and executive leadership coach.
Executive leadership coach. I like that. So meet Pete, the executive leadership coach. And what we're going to do today, as usual, folks, is we're going to look at a piece of Pete's content, and then we're going to take it and turn it into all kinds of things. Okay. Which this is the most fun thing I do, helping people do that, because I've been doing this for a while, and somehow we were talking about superpowers earlier, Pete. This somehow is mine, because I'll look at something and people will say, "How did you see that?" And I'm thinking, like that woman you told me you talked to, how do you not see that? But that's what a superpower is, right?
Correct. And I love being very much you're a strategist, right? And I love that, with my engineering background, being a strategist is great, because you can sit there and really brainstorm and come up with amazing ideas and see where other people don't see, right? And I think that's probably the funnest part of anything we do.
Oh, how interesting. You went from engineer to leadership coach.
Correct. Yeah.
That's a good, I like that. That's cool. All right, let's look at your lead magnet here. What have I not done? Oh, there we go. Now, is that big enough to see?
Yeah, I can see that.
All right. So, and folks, just for your stuff purposes, this is a good opt-in page. Elevate your resume to land your dream job. Boom. What is that? 7 words? A powerful resume workshop. Save your spot. And here's what I really love. 7 seconds. See, it's all about getting people hooked and wanting to read more. That's the time you have to grab someone's attention with your resume. Whew, that's pretty quick. And so this is a free webinar, right?
Yeah, this is a free webinar.
Okay, and this is an old time, but you do this frequently?
I do this frequently, and I also keep the recordings. So those people who reach out either in between something, I can always send them to an old recording.
Okay, sure. And just to be transparent, folks, this is not a bad thing, in that Pete and I were first going to do this in early June. Okay, and this has never happened before. I pray it never happens again. But 20 minutes before we were to go on air, the internet in my whole neighborhood shut down, just everything. So great. And so we rescheduled, and then Pete got something in the way. And so here we are. And I thought, what a better way to celebrate Independence Day than the freedom of this, right? So,
correct.
Good. There's a link to this in the show notes, so you guys can get to be a part of that. I really like this site too. Tools for the Modern Man podcast. That's really cool. I like that. All right, let's dive into our ascension model here.
Yeah, and I'll be updating. Actually, I'm putting a pause on that podcast. I'm hosting.
Are you?
I'm hosting Cracking the Rich Code podcast, which is the book that I'm associated with, and I'll be starting a career strategy show. So
all right.
Really focusing down on the lessons that I teach throughout
Okay.
this workshop and everything else.
The first one, did you say cracking the rich code?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
It's with
And then-
Jim Britt, and it's endorsed by Tony Robbins. So it's a great mastermind.
Well, that's a decent endorsement.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
And what's the one coming up?
And the one coming up is going to be the Career Strategy Show.
Okay. So both of those, okay, we'll talk some more about that later. All right. So you've got the resume stuff, and tell us a little bit about how resumes are just the starting point to a job.
Leave a lot of people, when they're looking at their careers and they're trying to visualize where they want to go. It always starts with that. How do I get that job, or how do I set myself apart? And I think the first step is the resume, and it's more than just a piece of paper. It's an opportunity to work with somebody to really tease out what their strengths are, where they've added value in their career, what their passions are, and how they can translate that to the workplace. Because, a lot of times we think we got to chase our passion or chase what we think we want to do. But the reality is, when we're looking for a job, it's about aligning what we can do and what we're capable of doing with what an employer is looking for. What problem do you solve? And I think that's where my engineering background really supports this process, because I look at a person and I'm saying, okay, what problem do you solve? How do we translate that to a piece of paper and then move it to the next step?
I love it. I love it. So Pete, what's your dream with this?
My dream ultimately is to create more and more leaders, because I think that that's where the biggest gap is in the corporate world and in business in general. Is there's a lot of owners, there's a lot of managers, there's a lot of people on the ladder, very, very few leaders. And I believe leadership starts from the bottom up. You can be a leader at any phase of your career. And that's why when I work with people to go find that dream job, really what we're doing in the essence is creating a new leader.
I love it. I love that. You and I talked a little bit about, before we went live, about quiet leaders, and they don't have to be extroverts. I love that, because I'm like, in all those psychological tests, I am right down the middle every time between introvert and extrovert. And my sons tease me. They say, Dad, God split you in half. And John got the introvert and Caleb got the extrovert, and they're both leaders. So it goes to what you're talking about.
Yeah. And I think that there's these preconceived conceptions about how people should be, when they're coming forward. And again, I believe that every person has a unique skill set and a unique quality to bring to the table. That's what we do with this. We flesh that out. We really help to put a spotlight on that.
I love that. So you don't have to be Tony Robbins to be a leader?
No, you don't have to be Tony. You don't even have to be, every single person, if they just flex that muscle enough times, will be a leader. And I think, and I truly believe that.
Oh, I believe it. I've experienced it. I've coached it. Yes, yes, and yes. All right. So you've got a bunch of different stuff. I thought we could focus on recurring income, if that's okay with you to get recurring income.
Yeah. That's always nice.
Yeah. Yeah. I tell people I've got a spreadsheet, a Google sheet of all the recurring, and it's such a pleasure to wake up in the morning, look at that and go, that's coming in whether I work or not. I like this. And so 2 types, short-term membership and a membership. And the distinction is, even though it doesn't happen this way, there's still people that are afraid of getting into ongoing memberships and not being able to get out. Okay. Mm-hmm. And so I like people to get a taste before they do the membership. And this can be anything, it can be 4 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks. First one I did was 12 weeks, called Article Marketing for Beginners, I think. Actually, that was the second. The first was multiple streams of article income. And it's a nice way to do things, because all you got to deliver really is a video and a PDF of training a week. Okay. And you can take notes all you want, but you're going to get a replay of this. So that's cool too. But take as many notes as you want. That's cool. I get it. I would too. And maybe a Q&A. And here's part of the pricing strategy. Okay. Because what you want to do is have your the monthly for your short term be the same as the monthly for the beginning membership. Okay. So like if this one was 47 for 3 months, then it's going to be 47 when you upgrade. And that makes that upgrade sale so much easier because you can just say, hey, look, you've been paying me $47 a month for 3 months. Let's just keep at it and you get all this other stuff. Okay. And now for the memberships, there are tons of models out there. And one of the most, I still can't believe this works. This is a random question, but do you ever watch Survivor?
I did years ago, I think season 1.
Yeah, me too. And I didn't watch until this season because one of my colleagues was on it. Liz Wilcox, all she told everybody was that she was taking the summer off and traveling with her daughter, which was true. She just didn't say the rest of it. Okay. And the reason I'm bringing that up is that she has, and she's a student of Roberto's as well. She has a membership called Email Marketing Mastermind or Email Marketing Membership, one or the other. It's $9 a month. Okay. And you get a new template every Monday and some other stuff. The thing that got my attention is last time we talked, she had like 3,500 members.
Oh, wow.
Which I could live on that a month,
Mm-hmm.
And her crazy goal, and if anybody could do it, she can, because she's nuts. And is that she wants to be at 100,000 members. Okay. Which that'd be all right. So that's one model. Another model, a friend of mine named Cindy, she does 2 Q&As a month, multiple courses, and that's it. Okay. She's got 3 levels, 37, 47, 197. And then there's big ticket stuff too. It just really depends on what you want to accomplish, what fits your industry the best, what fits your niche the best. And also, I'm really big on 2 things: service delivery time and service consumption time. Because one of the places I've seen folks like you and me burn out is in trying to give too much in a membership. And I've done that. There was one in the early century that we're in, where there was 5 parts to it, and I did a teleseminar training on each of the 5 parts a month. Okay, so you get a feel. And I had my son reading the questions, and the only reason people were pulling out was they were overwhelmed. They couldn't keep up, And I thought, oh, you can over deliver, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the converse of that, Pete, is service consumption time. Okay, there was a time when you wanted to give somebody a big old box that lands on their doorstep, or this big old 370 PDFs and 900 videos. I'm exaggerating, but not by much. And now we've grown to where it's like, tell me what to do. Tell me what to do next. Tell me what to do afterwards. Let's get this going, which I think helps more people.
Mm-hmm.
So getting a glimpse of the future?
Yeah, a little bit. The wheels are turning. The wheels are turning.
It's what?
The wheels are turning.
Good. That's what we want. Any questions so far?
No. I'm curious to see where this goes because I already have some ideas that are floating around up here.
Oh, good. I can't wait to work with you on them. Now, the things below this: ebooks, masterclass, mini course, courses, flagship course. Those are all doable. And think of this as multiple entrance ramps. People can come in on any one of these things. Okay. The interesting thing, as you go up the ladder from ebooks to short term, what increases is not only the cost, and the connection with the leader. What increases is the number of people who will convert into a membership from that product. Okay, I remember, God, what has it been? 17 years now. I was trying to get back from my original mentor's house in Virginia Beach to mine in Atlanta and couldn't make it. Got outside Charlotte, pulled up because I had a webinar to do in like 90 minutes. So got all set up, was walking around my hotel room, listening to the last one of these I did, because I did 2 of these a year back then. And I heard the wildest thing. I heard myself congratulate 3 people that had just come on board. And it stopped me in my tracks, because I thought, all 3 of these people are in my higher ticket membership. Let me look at my numbers. And I discovered that 1/3 of the people that took that course ended up in the membership. And I thought, that's good to know. Because if I got 10 people, that's 3 new members. If I got 100, that's 33 new members. This is cool. Okay. So now, don't get overwhelmed, because we're not going to build all this out at once.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That'd be insane. I mean, it probably could be done, but
anything could be done.
That's right.
What do you look like on the other side of it, right?
That's a really good way to say it, Pete. I like that. But you're going to overwhelm yourself and people too. But what you've got here are really the seeds of greatness, the seeds of a very profitable system in resumes to dream job to leadership. Any questions at this point?
No. I'm like a Ferrari at a red light. Let's go.
Rung. All right. So we're going to start wrapping up here in a couple minutes, and then talk about where to go from here and how to build this all out. The cool thing is everything on here is doable. We create outlines for all of it and do all of it for people. And some people will tell you ebooks are dead. Nah, they're if anybody tells you something is dead, most times it's because they want you to sell you something else. Like, I love the people that tell us that email's dead, and I always think it's amusing that they're telling us that by email, right?
Well, yeah, that's, like I said, I've got this. I'm a collaborator in the Cracking the Rich Code volume, series, and those are international bestsellers every single time they hit. So
yeah, these things work. Exactly. All right. So Pete, thanks for being a great guest. Thanks for being patient with getting to this one, and thanks for bringing great content too. I really think there's so much you can do with this, folks. You can get the resume workshop in the show notes. That'll be available as soon as we hang up. And so, everybody, thank you for being here. A lot of places you could have been, chose to be with us, and that's always an honor. And Pete, thanks again. And if you want to be sitting where Pete's sitting, not in his chair, but in this content profit seat, okay, you just go to the you just go to jeffherring.com/guest. jeffherring.com/guest. 3 ways you can get that guest position, and we will set it up.
Yeah, thank you, Jeff, for having me on this and for providing this service. It's amazing for
thank you.
Those of us who are trying to build something.
Yeah, it's my pleasure, and really, honestly, it's the favorite thing I do now of all the things I do. This is just a blast. So thanks for being here, and folks, you know what? Those of you that have been with us for a while know how to do this, right? Because that is, until next time on episode 146, we invite you to go use this stuff.